Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. That is preview for the Borough game coming up tomorrow night.
We're baggies. Well, Dan, I must say, looking forward to this. I think that I know it's early doors just yet, but I think that bearing in mind we're a team of very much work in progress as a team and a squad and a manager. I think well, it's the same old problem we've got with not if we had a 20 goals a season scorer, we would be something else now. I think that the chances that we create are phenomenal. I'd like to see Mikey Johnson have shoot a bit more, a bit quicker. I'd like to see other players get in the mix a bit more. But so far, so good, Dan. But I've got some intriguing questions to ask you. But go on, what do you think?
Yeah, I think overall on the Derby game, mate, just I think that there's
Great
mixed
atmosphere.
opinions.
Great
Great atmosphere,
atmosphere.
yes, really impressed. May I just say before we carry on, big shout out to everyone involved with I think it was Ian Skidmore especially with the whole 125th anniversary. Did really well. I thought the whole day, of course, on the pitch not so much, but off the pitch, absolutely brilliant. The flags and especially as we put on the video, Dad, in the on the screen, as you said to me about like the results as they come through like back in the old days, weren't it?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people took a lot of time and effort. I think I got there early because I was having a shandy or two, and I thought, yeah, I thought it was excellent. I saw a lot going on. I think that it's great. It's steeped in history. All right, admittedly, it wasn't the result that we wanted, but you've got to give Derby credit. Listen, I think my recollection was they had one shot at goal, and they scored one goal. Isn't it ironic, Dan, that you have Matt Clark, who is a colossus for them at the back, an
Yep.
ex a player of the season winner for us, and then you have bloody Wyman who pops up and bags
No,
the winner
can't
in a
believe that, can
classic
you?
in a classic smash and grab. But if lessons to be learnt there, Dan. To be honest, I think that with the balance of play, I think we really did. We were the better team. We did
Come on,
outplay them. I think that it was
100%.
our own fault, naivety, Dan, and I think a little bit more. We need to be a bit more aggressive, and we need a bit. We need. I think that I keep on getting Hagen and Hegbo mixed up. I think his hold-up play is brilliant, but I'd like to see him display a few more theatrics. A shout at the ref more will
Yeah,
go down. I
100%.
know you shouldn't. I know you shouldn't, but I think that he's got a lot to offer us. But I have to say, Dan, let's address the elephant in the so-called virtual
Go
room.
on.
What is the deal with Maja?
Well, of course, he was, I think it was last season, of course, I think during the middle part for towards December, of course, he had a massive injury where he was out for quite a while. And realistically, that causes, in my opinion, one of the reasons to drop out of the playoffs because he was so much of a vital player to us. And I think now that Ryan Mason's come in, what's interesting, because we've been speaking about loads, Dad, is the fact that in his conferences about, I think Steve Herman, for example, asked him the other day about Madra and whatnot, and he didn't really give an answer about what was happening with him. He kind of shrugs the question off and talked about something else. So is it the fact that he doesn't want Madra in his team and they're not going along? He's not fit enough? I don't know what it is, do you?
No, it's quite worrying, I'm beginning to wonder, Dan. I'm beginning to wonder whether he is the man because, all right, where last season we started really well, didn't we? A QPR and Maggi was getting the goals, but that the season before that he wasn't on fire, was he? I think that
No.
somewhere, sorry to put him within
Go
the
on.
Albion, and I hate to say this, Dan. I think that imagine either well, if somebody comes in for Magic, I'd get rid of him. But DK, I think the time has come now, where we should write him off. I mean, again,
Yeah.
he seems a lovely fella, but I think from a footballing point of view, I mean, he's made a fortune out of the Albion. I think that what I would like to see with right, and I suppose every other Championship team would be, is we need a proven goal scorer. There's got to be somebody somewhere within the Albion setup, Dan, who deserves a chance.
Yes, I think I agree with you there. But what I would say towards the whole Josh Maja thing, of course, as we are saying this now, he's just come out and said Ryan Mason, the fact that Josh Maja's fit just about now, and it's my choice whether he plays or not. Again, that doesn't give me confidence whether he's going to play or not, and maybe they're not even getting along. You're not too sure, are you? What I would say is when he did come on the pitch for those couple of minutes that he came on, Dad, I actually thought that he did actually make a difference. While I think Hegebo is brilliant with his hold-up play and his pass and play in general with the other teammates, especially with link with Isaac Price, I think he's absolutely class at the moment. What I would say is I think Madrid brought that bit more of a threat in the box And I thought we had a couple more opportunities where realistically, while I wouldn't say we did dominate, we didn't really test the keeper as much on target, I thought. And I think we were lacking at points. And that's why I think hopefully Ramesh can look at this and think might need to integrate Magic into the side against Borough tomorrow night. And I think that's what realistically we were missing.
Yeah, I think I do feel a bit awful because I do obviously like every other Albion fan. I just want the best of Maggio. He was on fire last season. If you get him back to some kind of normality, I think I can understand Ryan Mason's perspective, Dan. Because when you imagine if you've taken over your first ever managerial position and you've got two big units that you could play up front
Yeah,
in Maggio and DK, and you're questioning the fitness. Because
I know.
if it was me, right, I don't think I would gamble on Magic because I can
Wouldn't.
see what he's trying to do. Because if we can get other players within the team scoring goals, which I think is going to be the key to our season, then a fully fit Magic ready to go, brilliant, unleashed on the championship. Because don't forget that, like all the other teams, it's going to be a long, hard
No, it
season.
is.
And I think that was the main difference between us and Derby. I do think Hegbo's got a lot to offer though, because where he can
No, he has.
drag the defenders out and people like DK or other players within the team, I think that's yeah, I do. I can sympathise with Mason though, Dan. I
Oh,
like what he's trying to do, but I can tell you something, Dan. He won't leave any stone unturned. I think he's really, really a methodical manager, and I like the idea. It's for the first time ever. I looked at Albion the weekend playing against them. I thought this is brilliant because it's not the same old, go back over here, try again, back, don't shoot. We were trying new things, so it's refreshing. And I think I think Dan, I mean, look at Meppen for a
he's
debut.
been really good.
You'd think he'd been in the team for a couple of seasons, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he's been really impressive. And what I would say in the performance, I thought we dominated the ball, and I thought the overall game, realistically, we did dominate. Of course, maybe not on the shot presence because I don't think we tested as much the keepers that extra in goal. Because again, Dad, you look at how many times that actually had touches in our box, and I think it was only 7 or 9 touches, and five of them were, of course, from the goal scorer Andy Weimann. But what I've got to mention to you Dad, before we go on, actually, and I think viewers watching as well, if you can also comment on this, realistically, we've lost Tom Fellows. Have we replaced him with a right winger? I'm not too sure. What do you think?
Of course we haven't. I think Dan, listen, I think we've got to face facts now. We've done the cost cutting. We've got rid of. I didn't want to get rid of Tommy Fellows. We've got rid of Furlong. We've got rid of so many players now. It's a new future. My question would be to you, Dan, is no, we haven't replaced Fellows. Will we get an opportunity? I don't think so. I think that do you think it would be a fair assessment in saying we might have to write this season off? Or do you think
No, I wouldn't
it's
say right
taking
season
it?
off. I'm only worried I think might be a player light. And I think Collins out now for a couple of weeks. I can't see Banny coming back for a couple of weeks either, neither DK. So there's more options on the bench where you're looking at it and thinking to yourself, who do you bring on? Because I think Joe Wallace, to be fair to him, no one's really praised him enough because he's been brilliant this season, I think, actually, Dad. But you can't always rely on him the whole season. We always need to have the back off the bench. I mean, I've got to ask you, Dad, because you were interested by it. What were your thoughts on the cameo by Ealing Jr.?
I was just about to say that, Dan. I thought I like it. I like what potentially he's got to offer. I think he could be exciting. I've always wanted to see someone like that, a bit of fresh, energetic, new ideas. Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm just I was in full flow a minute ago. You know what I'm beginning to think, Dan?
Go on.
Where if I lower my expectations and think, you
Yeah.
know what, it's work in progress and we're building blocks, we might just do something because beforehand it's always been we expect. I don't think we expect anything at the moment because it's a club very much in transition. I mean, I know it's off the field, but what with Mark Miles now stepping down from the club
Yes.
after probably 2 decades, he's been a good servant to the club. Know Mark very well, as you well know. And I think that Andrew Nesta, isn't he now the club president?
Yes, he is. Yes, and I read his report actually. I think it's Ashley Batali has come up in the marketing sector as well. A couple of others added too actually, because I think there was a photo of Patal, Nesta at the women's game on the weekend, and there's pictures of some people you weren't too sure of. And I think it was Gonzalez, another bloke that's actually now included with the Albion. I think there's more people now which are part of Patal's kind of committee gang, whatever you want to call it, that are helping out. And I think Nesta has done really, really good so far on overseas are looking at who we want to bring in and whatnot, and the whole structure of the club at the moment. So I'm actually really impressed that we took an opportunity to take him as president.
Yeah, I like what you say there. I think that they're nobody's fool. I think slowly but surely now, well, not slowly but surely, they're making the mark on the Albion, isn't it? And I
100%.
think that it's refreshing to see, like little daft little things like being able to have a pint after the game in the East Stand and the chairs they put up. But coming back to on the field, I think it's very very early days. It's going to be a very difficult clash against Middlesbrough. I think what it's first season, what fifth, isn't it, in the league? You know, some I'd like to think, Dan. There's not a huge amount of difference from us and Borough with the structure. And I think that Borough have gone through difficult times like us. You know, so if you're going to pin me to the wall, I'm going to go for 1-1 draw. But it's going to be an awkward game, Dan. And don't forget why the EFL have picked our fixture against Middlesbrough, 8 o'clock kickoff, away
God,
game. What have we done? I think we've got Norwich in
that's
midweek.
right.
So
Yeah, we've got some awful away this midweek, but I can't wait for them. Before we go on, Dad, of course you wanted to mention to the viewers what we're going to do now on the previews, Dad.
oh yeah, we've taken the decision. We're going to get the opinions of other people, well-respected Albion fans. So, what have they got for us, Dan?
Right, Harvey, take away for us.
Hi guys, it's Harvey here from Frostles News 1878 on Insta. All things Midlands, the absolute legends themselves have asked me to do a video on my thoughts about Friday's game, well tonight's game or Borough game, whenever you're seeing this. But also have asked me to share my views on the Derby game that happened on Saturday. Personally, I think we played well. One of the problems that I think led to us losing the game was finding no end product. So we'd whip a ball in and then you just have no one to latch onto it really, and we wasn't really on target as much. You know, when you have 18 shots, you do aim for at least more than half of them to be on target rather than literally less than a quarter of them being on target pretty much. You know, and that's 2 games now where we've faced Derby this season. You know, we were defensively strong right until towards the end. You know, you've seen that with the free kick in the cup. And then you've seen it today, not today, sorry, Saturday, when Andy Vyman literally went up the other end and scored. Should Griffiths have done better? I don't know. He's always had a bit of a struggle with his near post, I suppose. So I suppose every goalkeeper has a weakness. Defensively, I think we had a solid game, but at the end, it just caught up to us. Now, enough of Derby, enough of the past, into the present, into the future with Middlesbrough. I think it's going to be a tough game, top of the league. Rob Edwards coming off the back of winning Manager of the Month and grabbing a point against Preston late on Saturday. I think it's going to be a really tough game. The Riverside's never been really an easy place to go, especially for the Albion. You know, it's been a while since we've grabbed 3 points, even a point at the Riverside against Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough are slowly starting to become a little bit of a bogey team over the years. One of the things I would say is to maybe give Ilan Jr. a chance in the 11 and Alfie Gilchrist. You know, Gilchrist is defensively solid at the back, isn't scared to put a tackle in, you know, lunge any times his tackles well. And Ilan Jr., I was impressed on Saturday with the amount of times he whipped the ball in. First time, you know, there was certain times where, you know, if he was getting you know, pressured by the defender, whether it was 1 or 2, he was able to, you know, just look behind him and pass it to Campbell, but he also wasn't scared to take him on at the same time, and that really impressed me. My thoughts, I think it should be 1-1. I think we're going to probably equalise that, and I think it'll be a Hayden Hackney goal for Middlesbrough. I think I'm thinking of a Chris Metham goal, actually, for us.
Thanks for that, Harvey. Really do appreciate that. But then,
Yeah,
Dad,
makes a
so
good comment, didn't he?
onto Borough then. What are your thoughts and overall going into it?
I think that it's going to be a cagey game. I think again, it's very, very early doors, and I don't think there's much difference between the two teams. I think Borough are somewhat a different team than they used to be. Albion, as we know, on the road, we're not too bad at the moment. But as I say, Dan, I'm going for a 1-1 draw. But I think, you know, I'm quietly confident, but I'll leave it at that. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I think realistically, when you go to the Riverside, we always tend to struggle. I think the last time we actually won there was the Robson Corner goal and the Slaven Bilic, who, by the way, is rumors to take over West Ham if Graham Potter gets the
Yeah,
sack.
I know.
Which is
Yeah, you know,
interesting, one may I just
mind
say.
you though, Dan. Going off piece, so to speak. Who'd want that West Ham job? Just Mary, who's got that West Ham job, right? They're always going to be slated, and they play the West Ham way
Mind you,
of
can I
football.
say something quickly? Talking about fan bases, I'm not too sure on about at the moment. I've seen something today saying that Villa fans want Unai Emery out.
Well, let's not make any comment other than be careful what you wish for. Be
I know
careful what you wish
exactly,
for. Hey,
exactly.
hey, yeah, can I? Yeah, now that you've filled me with complete nonsense, I heard a little whisper that Albion were allegedly going to take on Dele Alli.
It's rumoured, isn't it? Because of course Ryan Mason is actually what was actually one of Dele Alli's mates and whatnot, and got along with him well. I'm not too sure, Dad. I think wages, etc., play a part, and it might be a bit of a gamble that Albion might not want to take. You don't know. I could see him going to a Wrexham Blues type of team, or again another team from abroad. But it'll be a
He has been
gamble
mentioned.
either way.
Sorry to butt in. He has been mentioned with Birmingham City, hasn't it? Hey, I'll tell you another thing that you failed to mention:
Go on.
Sheffield United.
Yeah, Ruben Sellers sacked and Wilder in. That'll be really interesting. I'm not too sure about that, but it'd be really, really interesting. But by the way, coming back to Middlesbrough, I've got to mention this. Of course, they're flying top of the league. They're loving life at
Yeah,
the moment. What a
yeah.
job Rob Edwards has actually done, may I just say.
Oh yeah, fair play to him. You know, he's done really well, hasn't he? It's been a difficult. I think it's been a difficult club to manage. When you go through some of the managers there, I mean, Mowbray's had a crack at it. Tony Pulis has had a crack at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna Dan. It ain't gonna be a pushover, as we well know. So go
No,
on. I'm
it'd
going to
be
know you. I'm going for 1-1.
going 1-1. I think it's a very difficult game. My worry is, I think it depends if we can keep the likes of Hayden Hackney, your Tommy Conways. And to be fair, I feel like they need a leader in their team, and that's what they've got at the moment in Luke Ayling. I think he's been really, really good since he's come in for them. So my worry is it depends how we start, because I think if we start really positive, which we can do and have done, I think we'll give them a really good game. So just because of that, I think we're playing really well at the moment. I'm gonna go for a 2-1 win to the boys. I don't know why. I've got this positive feeling. I'm really looking forward to going there. I'll be honest with you. Before we carry on, actually, Dad, we got another one. Daniel, thank you so much for your video. Let's have a look at it.
Oh, it's showtime. See, it made it a big time on the All Things Midlands. But hey, talking of big shows, you don't get any bigger than top of the league on a Friday night at their place. Albion away. Difficult game. They're on fire. That Rob Edwards has took Michael Carrick's team and just added a bit of experience on a manager's point of view, I think. Carrick is going to be a great manager one day, but he needed this experience that Rob Edwards has got just from taking teams up. He's given them that bit of class. I mean, they've got some good players there, haven't they? Tommy Conway, what a player he is. He holds at the ball, leads the line, odd goal in him. But yeah, he's got a few more goals than Eggerbo, who's still got my back in, still believe in him. Got Hackney in midfield, what a good player he is. Morgan Whittaker, I can't even say his name. Morgan Whittaker, he's a player who's looked good at Swansea and Plymouth, but then stalled because he threw his toys at the pram about wanting to move, didn't he? So I don't think he would have seen himself at Borough, but now's his chance to kick on, and he's doing all right there. He's up in their top rating, so dangerous player, breaking the lines. He'll be our trouble we have to get in the centre midfield, and we're looking at Moat and Malumbi following him, keeping up. We might need to sit a bit deeper. I'd like Diakite to come in for a big game like this where we can just sit and control. But hey, fingers crossed. I've always liked Luke Ayling, the pack. He's got a lot more pace and physicality. He'll grab hold of Eggerbo. So let's mix it up a bit. Show a bit of class. Let's get old Josh Maja in there. Let's get him playing there with touch balls and everything. Good to give Eggerbo a break. I mean, remember, he's come from Norway. He just needs, go stand back a bit. It's not bad for you. So I believe in him. He just needs a bit more experience. It's been a big step up, and he's been asked to lead the line straight away. And surely Maja's fit by now. Can't be long till DK, but that's touchy-feely careful till Christmas, I think. So that's fine. But Maja, we've got to look to get the best of Johnson. Sorry, he's got to bring more end product to me. He looks flash. He's the one who gets the fans off the seat, but rarely does he produce something. I need him to start producing like he did that first loan period. Otherwise, what else would you change? I'm happy with the back. I think Campbell, I wasn't there versus Derby, but I hear that was his worst game. But we need more defence in mind. We're away at this game. He's the one likely to pick up Whittaker, isn't he? So fingers crossed. Still believe. I've not been to Middlesbrough. I mean, I went originally in the Ayresome Park days. It was far better then. It was better than this corporate bowl and bore thing that the Riverside is. But go in your baggies. We can do this. Take a draw. I'm going to go 1-0. 1-0. Baggies! Rather. It's showtime!
Wow, what a man he is, Dad. What a man he is.
Yeah, you've got to give him credit, Dan. He didn't sit on the fence, did he? Fair play to him.
But yeah, so overall, Dad, you looking forward to the long journey, I ask you?
I am actually, yeah. We've got lots to talk about, haven't we? Because we haven't had a catch up for a while. I think I'll tell you one thing. I've got to get off my chest, Dan.
Go on.
Our travelling support is absolutely incredible, you know.
They've sold out Millwall, haven't we?
I know. I was just about to say that, yeah. And I'm going to say, shout out if Kenny from Millwall's watching. We're looking to meet up, mate. We'll come and see you. And a couple of the other boys. We've got an early start that day, haven't we? Yeah.
Exactly,
but I mean, look,
indeed.
after our Danny, yeah, people sell out.
I know, yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Can I just say as well, while we're talking on like the fans and whatnot, we really appreciate the support, guys. It was so overwhelming at the game last Saturday, Dad, when everyone came up to us. Honestly, every single one, we thank you so much for watching our videos when you can and liking and subscribing, and even come up to see us because it makes our day, doesn't it, Dad?
Yeah, certainly don't take anything for granted, and we love the Albion, just like thousands of other boys and girls. So yeah, never be afraid to come up, say hello. If you want to come on the channel, please feel free. But always remember, Albion together, Albion through and through. And without you guys and girls, we're nothing. But yeah, we do really appreciate it, even taking the time to watch, comment. You know what? We love having all the people come up and tell us about all your stories, because you know what? We just love the baggies.
I may as well say, guys, before we wrap up, make sure as well, I'll leave in the description down below our Instagram and our email for our actual YouTube channel. If you want to come on, because this is what we want to do, guys. We're going to make sure everyone is involved in the channel. You might not get to go this week or next week. We want to make sure you have a little opinion, you know what I mean, Dad?
Yeah, absolutely. Because before we go, by the way, we've got to say happy 50th birthday to Brett this weekend. I know that Perry and Finn, big muckers with the channel. I think they're on the PISS over the weekend at I think just the range. So happy birthday, Brett. He's one of our own, Brett. I've got a lot of time for Brett. And the other thing is, thank you ever so much for the two lads who contributed, because we can do more things like this, Dan. And also, any news on your All Things Midlands on the road?
On the road, it is in the works at this moment as we speak, Dad. We're hopefully going to get in contact with you, Jason Wheeler.
Yeah, I'll tell you another thing. You know, we might do an extended version against Millwall, because we're getting the train and we're meeting up with some of the Millwall lads early doors, aren't we? So, yeah, any ideas? Keep them clean, mind you. Yeah, all I'll say is, Jan, come on, lads.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this video, as always. And make sure you stay tuned and give your opinions down below. We want to know your score predictions, who's scoring. Are you looking forward to getting more? You're nervous. Dad, make sure you like, subscribe, and peace. Anything else to say?
Yeah, listen, safe travels. Listen, it's going to be a big weekend for the EFL. If we can imagine, if we come, I'll do you a deal. If we come away from there with 3 glorious points, we won't get back home until the following afternoon. I'll take you on a magical PISS tour.
Here we go. You'll stick to that, guys. Anyway, what time is it?
It's
It's showtime.